Hi everyone, welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming strategic case study sessions happening in August 2022. My name is Nick and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for TCS when it comes to the strategic case study. Okay, so before we start the session, let me talk about what our webinars are all about. So the first webinar, which is happening tonight, is focused on something called an 8-week study plan. You'll get to know what I'm talking about later on. And the second webinar is focused on answer planning technique. So that's going to happen in another 2 weeks time. And the third webinar is titled exam prep, where I'm going to talk about the type of comments and insights made by the examiner with regards to the SCS exam. And on top of that, I'll be also highlighting what you need to do to build your confidence and how what you need to do to maintain the confidence at your real exam as well. Because as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the SCS exam easily. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to be covered in webinar number 3. So having said that, let's look at the session outcomes for tonight. I'll be taking you through the SCS exam overview, highlighting the nitty-gritties, the technical aspects of the SCS exam, which you need to know about. And the second part of today's webinar consists of 8-week study plan. I'll be highlighting what you need to do when preparing for your examination happening in August. As you know, from coming Monday, you have something about 9 weeks at your disposal to prepare yourself. So the exam week should be left out when it comes to preparations. So hence, I've come up with an 8-week study plan. And at the very end, I'll be opening the discussion for a Q&A session. So when I was advertising about this webinar, I mentioned that I'll be doing a pre-scene analysis, but later on I thought not to do it because we have already done a pre-scene analysis for the previous session. And on top of that, you can watch it on YouTube if you want. And on top of that, we are giving access to one of the pre-scene analysis videos. So if you invest on paid content, you gain access to 4 pre-scene analysis videos. Out of these 4, we are providing access for the first recorded version of the pre-scene analysis free of charge. You can access it under the free content within our webinar. So I'll be highlighting these things later on as well. So before we move on with today's session, I want to talk about the company and what this industry is about in simple terms. Let me take about 5 minutes of your time. So Snakwheel is the company on which this time's case study is based upon. Snakwheel is a quoted company that facilitates home deliveries on behalf of fast food companies. So this is a company which is involved with providing delivery services, food delivery services to customers. Okay, so that's what you need to know about the company as a synopsis. And as you can see, if you gain access to our annotated pre-scene, you'd understand the most important points which you need to remember, because I've made your life easier. I've made these annotations with the aim of summarizing the entire pre-scene. So as you can see, study summaries are provided. And on top of that, under these comments or annotations, I've also highlighted the type of syllabus content which can be tested. And also I've highlighted the type of scenarios which can appear in your exam based on hints provided by the CIMA examiner. So throughout the pre-scene document, I've made annotations to make your life easier. So let me talk about the industry a bit as well. Okay, so this is based on our industry analysis slides. So the definition of the market, let me just talk about the definition of the market so that you know what this company is about and what the industry dynamics are. So this is a platform to consumer delivery market. So that's the industry which is tested this time. This industry is known as platform to consumer delivery market, and this is a food delivery business model. And this is all about online delivery of food to customers. And meals are prepared by partner restaurants. We are not preparing meals by our own self. Instead, the restaurants are preparing meals, and we are involved with delivering these meals to customers. And platforms such as us, such as Snakwheel, provides delivery services, and platforms typically use apps and websites to connect customers and partner restaurants. So that's exactly what Snakwheel is up to as well. And likewise, I've highlighted in my industry analysis slides, I've highlighted the real life examples and information pertaining to this food delivery industry. Okay. And at the very end, I've highlighted two companies as examples so that you are in a position to better understand the dynamics of the industry, which is tested in this time's case study. So I've considered DoorDash and Uber Eats. We are providing financial analysis slides as well. So as you can see, we have analyzed the SOPL, the SOFP, and the statement of changes in equity. And at the very end, we've carried out a ratio analysis, which highlights the most important points. So this makes your life easier. Again, you need not do any calculations. All the elaborations are provided. And financial analysis has been carried out for Munch Bike, the closest competitor of Snakwheel as well. So you can see the same type of information being provided. So that's an overview about this time's case study. In order to better understand it, I invite you guys to visit our website, and you can access the first video under free content. Okay. So having said that, let's move on with today's session objectives. So first things first, I'm gonna talk about the pathway to SCS. Okay, a set of students are coming through the CIMA general route. So these type of students had completed their OTQ examinations. They have completed E3, P3, and F3 related syllabus areas. And there are another set of students coming through the exemption route, or in other terms known as the FLP, or the Finance Leadership Program. These students, although they are from a finance background, since they have not done the OTQ examinations, they usually find CIMA case studies to be a bit too hard, because most of these students are coming from, they have fulfilled educational qualifications. They have not done professional qualifications before mostly. So these type of students struggle a bit with the SCS exam, but there's absolutely nothing to worry, because I'll be highlighting what you need to do. If you are coming through the FLP route, I'll be highlighting what you need to do, or what type of knowledge you need to gain when preparing yourself for the SCS exam. All right, so then let's have a look at the exam. This is a PC-based examination. The time allocation is 3 hours, and your paper at the real exam would consist of 3 main tasks, and under each task you would see 2 or 3 subtasks. Okay, so for each task, the time allocation is 60 minutes. So you have 1 hour to complete each task. But once you have provided answers for one task, and once the time allocation runs out, you cannot go back to the answer and edit it. So you need to know how to manage your time appropriately when attempting your real exam. So there again, you need some type of practice. So we have taken care of that as well. In our second webinar, which is happening in another 2 weeks time, I'll be highlighting what you need to do when developing your answers. I'll be highlighting about methodology called the answer planning technique. So I'll be teaching you guys how to develop answer plans, how to structure your answers, how to improve the quality of your answers, and how to manage your time appropriately. Because as you know, the SCS exam is a time pressured exam. So you need to know how to manage your time appropriately, because if you do not utilize your time appropriately, then chances of you passing the exam is extremely low. So all these things will be covered in the next webinar. And the pass mark is 80 out of 150, which is 54%. Okay, so let's look at an overview of the exam. Information is provided about a fictitious company advance through a pre-seen document. So that's exactly what I was talking about previously. So this is the pre-seen document which you get, minus the annotations. We've made the annotations to make your life easier. All right. And as you know, Snakwheel is the name of the company, and it's in the food delivery business, or it operates in the food delivery industry. In the exam, you are required to address issues or questions relating to the strategic direction of the company. So at the SCS exam, you are supposed to be involved with strategic decision making. Why? Because you are playing the role of a senior finance manager. I'll be talking about these things in depth later on. So the senior finance manager is directly reporting to the finance director of the company. So you are assisting the decision makers who are at the strategic level, who are involved with the long-term direction of the company, or who are involved with long-term planning. So you are providing some type of assistance to these board members. Okay, so because of that, questions will highlight your knowledge about the strategic direction of the company, whether you can, be involved with or you can come up with appropriate decisions in a strategic manner. So the examiner tries to figure out whether you have enough knowledge about the company and the industry. So just simply go through our pre-seen analysis videos, go through the annotated pre-seen, go through the industry analysis slides and financial analysis slides. Then you'd have an in-depth understanding about the company as well as the industry in which it operates. And on top of that, just because you know about the company and the industry, you cannot pass the SCS exam. You need to have an appropriate level of knowledge about E3, P3, and F3 related syllabus content. So that's exactly why I said students who are coming through the FLP route or the exemption route might not be too conversant with the syllabus content. So it's better if you can brush up your knowledge in these areas. As I highlighted earlier, I'll be telling you what to do. If you're coming through the FLP route, I'll be talking about what you need to do to improve your knowledge in these areas, because without this knowledge, you cannot pass the SCS examination. Right. So your role, let's try to figure out what you are supposed to do. You are playing the role of a senior finance manager. So since CIMA is a professional qualification, the examiner tries to replicate a real life work environment. So your questions will be in the form of emails or a report or whatever, which you receive when you walk into office, and you are supposed to respond to these emails, or you are supposed to develop reports and whatnot. Okay, so when providing answers, the examiner, well, you need to replicate a real life work environment. Okay, so you are playing the role of a senior finance manager. As I told you earlier, you are reporting directly to the board of directors of the company, the CEO or the chairman of the company. And as a senior finance manager, you need to have a high level of application and practical thinking at this level. So when it comes to application, we are looking at theories. So theories are moderately tested. You need not know the names of the people who had come up with different types of business concepts and whatnot. You need not theoretically explain the basis of each and every concept or theory which you are using. Rather than that, you are supposed to practically be involved with decision making, and when making these decisions, you can bring in knowledge which you have gained through E3, P3, and F3 related syllabus content. Okay, so you would understand what I'm talking about when I'm going to discuss a mini mock in our second webinar. Okay, so practical decision making is heavily tested, theories are moderately tested. Okay, so when preparing yourself for the upcoming SCS exam in August, there's a to-do list. You need to fulfill all these requirements. Then you are in a position to pass the SCS exam without too much of a hassle. Okay. First things first, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. I've highlighted this in our 8-week study plan as well. Not just once, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene twice or thrice to get a good understanding about it. And you are supposed to watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos. So these videos comprises of an introduction to the case study, the industry analysis, company operations, and financial analysis. Okay, so these videos, these 4 videos are totally based on the annotated pre-scene which we are providing. And you are supposed to attend all webinars, because in the webinars we are highlighting the technical nitty-gritties which you need to get right and which you need to know to comfortably pass the SCS examination. So that's an important part of your to-do list. And if you miss these webinars by any chance, you have the option of watching the recorded versions of webinars through the website. All these webinars are the recorded versions are uploaded under paid and free content within our website. Okay, and on top of that, in order to have an in-depth understanding about the pre-scene, you need to refer to slides pertaining to industry analysis, financial analysis, top 10 issue slides where we have highlighted the type of scenarios which can be tested in your exam. And you need to go through theory recaps for E3, F3, and P3, especially if you're coming through the FLP route. Okay. These slides are not too hard to digest. You know, we have summarized information as much as possible, only highlighting the most important parts. I've seen the other providers doing SWOT analysis and pestle analysis. I have not done that because these type of information is not tested too much in your exam, and all the necessary information appears within the slides and the annotated pre-scene. And the most important aspect of the to-do list is with regards to practicing 5 exam standard mock exams. It's of utmost importance you do this, because I've seen students just doing 2 or 3 mock exams, attempting 2 or 3 mock exams before the exam, before the real exam, to be precise. But you know, it does not work because you can't cover all syllabus areas you know, when you attempt 2 or 3 mock exams. It's better to attempt 5 exam standard mock exams, because our mock exams, I myself have prepared all 5 mock exams, and I've made sure to cover all syllabus content pertaining to E3, P3, and F3. And just, you know, attempting the mock exams won't help you. You are supposed to develop answer plans based on suggested answers of each mock. For most of you won't know what an answer plan is about, but there's absolutely nothing to worry. I'll highlight or I'll teach you how to develop answer plans in our second webinar, which is happening in another 2 weeks time. Okay, so this is your to-do list. And before we move on to the 8-week study plan, let me remind you about the important dates. The exam entry for the SCS sessions happening in August closes on the 9th of August 2022. Okay, so before this date, you need to book your exams, or else you won't be able to do your exam in August. And the exam dates are from the 24th to the 26th of August 2022. All right, then we are moving on to the second part of today's webinar, which is about the 8-week study plan. So as you can see, I've divided the study plan into 9 weeks. Okay, so from Monday, which is tomorrow, from tomorrow up until your exam, you have roughly 9 weeks at your disposal. So I've left out the 9th week for the exam, and you are not supposed to do too much in the 9th or the last week or the week leading up to the examination. However, from week number 1 to 8, you have certain tasks which you need to fulfill. Usually what I've seen is, especially at the SCS level, students think that since the exam is highly practical, you can prepare yourself within the last 2 weeks or the last week. Okay, but I would recommend you not to do it, because as per my experience for the past 10 years as a student, I found it extremely beneficial when you prepare beforehand. You have 8 weeks, so you just need to find 3 or 4 hours of time on a weekly basis, and that would be enough for you guys to prepare yourself fully for the upcoming exam. So rather than waiting until the end, start your work right now from week number 1, which is the next week. Start from tomorrow itself. Then you will be in a position to balance your work as well as studies, and closer to the exam, you would feel confident about yourself. You will not be under any stress. So when you are not under any stress, and when you are confident and when you are positive about the exam, you end up passing the examination. Okay, so that's what I've kept in mind when developing this 8-week study plan. So let's try to get into the nitty-gritties. In week number 1, which is happening, which is starting from next week, which is tomorrow, from the 27th to the 27th June to the 3rd of July, you are supposed to do 3 things: read the annotated pre-scene, watch the pre-scene analysis videos. I said that there are 4 videos, so you are supposed to watch all 4, and refer to financial analysis slides. Okay, so as you can see, you are not supposed to do too much. Yeah, just it's about just going through the content which we are providing. So in the second week, you are supposed to refer to the industry analysis slides, the top 20 issue slides, and refer to the SCS familiarization kit. Especially if you're coming through the FLP route, it's beneficial if you go through this SCS familiarization kit, because you need to know the technicalities pertaining to the SCS exam. And you are supposed to refer to E3 theory recap slides in week number 2. Okay, so on the 10th of July, we have, as I told you earlier, next Sunday on the 10th of July at 7 p.m. UK time, we are having webinar number 2, answering technique. So once you had gone through all this additional material, I'm highlighting what you need to do with regards to developing answers. So after you had gone through all this additional material, you would know about the company. Then once I do the second webinar, you would know what type of answers you are supposed to provide at the real exam. And in the third week, you are supposed to refer to P3 theory recap slides and F3 theory recap slides. And on Saturday, the 16th of July, we are conducting the third webinar, exam prep. And as I told you earlier, I'll be talking about what the examiner tells about the SCS exam, the comments and insights gained from the examiner. And on top of that, I'll be highlighting what you need to do to build and maintain your confidence when you're attempting your paper in August 2022. And in the 4th week, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene again. So I highlighted that first things first. In the first week on itself, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. I'm highlighting that you need to do it again before you start attempting mocks. Okay, because you need to have an appropriate level of knowledge about the industry and the company. So I'm asking you to read it for the second time in the 4th week, and you are supposed to watch the recorded video of SCS webinar 2, answering technique, before you start attempting your mock exams. It's better to polish your knowledge about or remind yourself about what you need to get right when it comes to developing answers. And in the 4th week, after doing these 2 tasks, you are supposed to attempt your first mock under simulated exam conditions. So as I told you earlier, this is a 3-hour paper, so you need to find 3 hours and attempt mock number 1 at a stretch rather than doing part by part. Then you are in a position to understand the real life exam conditions. And it's better when you are attempting the mock exam, the first mock, it's better to isolate yourself away from any disturbances. Try to think that you are try to replicate a real life exam scenario, because it's better to get accustomed to exam conditions. Then you are preparing yourself for the real exam. You won't panic at the real exam when you practice. at home or when you try to replicate a real life exam scenario. Okay, so you are supposed to attempt mock number 1 under simulated exam conditions, and just attempting won't help you. As I told you earlier, you are supposed to develop answer plans based on suggested answers for mock number 1. So by this time, when you are developing answer plans in week 4, you know what you need to do with regards to developing answer plans, because we cover that in week number 2. Okay, and in week number 5, you are supposed to attempt mock number 2 and develop answer plans based on suggested answers of mock number 2. And in the 6th week, you are supposed to attend mock number 3 and develop answer plans based on suggested answers. And you can refer to personalized tutor feedback for mock 3, because we provide feedback. We at TCS provide feedback for mocks 3, 4, and 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is where your feedback starts. It's better to get feedback, especially if you're coming through the FLP route. Okay, and in the 7th week, the same scenario continues. You are supposed to do mock number 4, develop answer plans for mock number 4, and refer to personalized tutor feedback for mock number 4. And on the 9th of August, which is within the 7th week, exam entry closes. So this is the deadline for exam booking. And in the 8th week, you are supposed to attempt mock number 5, develop answer plans, and refer to personalized feedback. And in the last week leading up to your examination, you are not supposed to attempt any mocks. You are supposed to relax as much as possible, because it's better to relax a week prior, or 3 or 4 days prior to the examination. So I've just mentioned the type of content you need to go through. Refer to the additional material, the financial and industry analysis slides and top 20 issues. Refer to the answer plans of all 5 mocks. So I said from week number 4, you are supposed to keep developing answer plans for each and every mock. So closer to the exam, you are supposed to go through these answer plans. So these answer plans are study summaries of the answers of each mock. So you can call it a short note as well, short note based on suggested answer of each mock. So just going through the short notes would help you realize the structure of the answer, the content of the answer, how the answers are connected with the question. And this helps you immensely because you can replicate the same scenario, you can replicate the same methodology, to be precise, at the real exam. And read the annotated pre-scene one last time before you face the exam. And I suggest that you stop all work a day prior to the exam. You are supposed to sleep, eat, and rest well. Why am I asking you to stop all your work a day before the exam? So let's assume you are doing your exam on the 24th. So on the 23rd, you are not supposed to do anything. Don't go through any additional content. Don't attempt mock exams. Don't try to figure out, go through the answer plans. Okay, just keep calm, because as I suggested earlier, the examiner is trying to replicate a real life work environment. So let's assume you walk into office tomorrow. You won't know the type of problems the company had faced. You won't know the type of decisions you'd have to take tomorrow. Okay, so there's absolutely no point of thinking about the type of questions which would come in your exam, because you cannot predict in a real life corporate environment. You can't predict the type of problems you'd have to solve. Okay, so the same philosophy applies to the SCS exam as well. So it's better to relax yourself a day before the exam, and which helps you immensely, because then you'd have a positive mindset. A positive mindset builds confidence, and as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up acing the SCS exam. Okay, and the SCS exam window is from the 24th to the 26th August. All right. Any questions, guys? Any doubts about the study plan? If you have any questions, you can raise them now. All right, George, thank you for the feedback. All right, so Let's look at the other areas, what you need to do when it comes to tackling E3, F3, and P3 related study content. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the feedback. Prepare for application of theories and concepts. As I highlighted earlier, you need not name the theorists, or you need not name the concepts. However, you need to use your knowledge about these theories and concepts in your exam, and prepare for interpretation of figures and numbers. You are not supposed to do major calculations at the SCS exam. Instead, if there are any calculations or figures, it will be provided as part of reference material, as part of the question. So you need not worry about working out numbers. However, as I highlighted earlier, it's better to know the key ratios. It's better to know about the financial health or financial performance of the company, because by remembering these things, you can save a lot of time. So rather than, for instance, if we take something like the gearing ratio, rather than working out the gearing ratio at the real exam, by taking out information from the pre-scene, you can simply go through our financial analysis slides and figure out what the gearing ratio is, and just remember it. We have made it concise as much as possible. We have only highlighted the most important points yet again. So you need not worry too much. Just remember the numbers, then you are good to go when it comes to the exam. And when studying for E3, F3, and P3, you are not supposed to skip any topic. I'm not the only person who's saying it. The examiner tells the same thing. So especially if you're coming through the FLP route, it's better if you get to know about this theoretical content. Otherwise, you won't be able to pass the SCS exam. And do not rely on predictions, as any area can be examined. So I highlighted this point partially earlier as well. The examiner tries to replicate a real life corporate environment. You are supposed to play the role of a senior finance manager. So you are not in a position to predict the type of questions which will be thrown at you. So it's better to have an open mind. That's exactly why I want you guys to stop all work a day prior to your examination. Right. So when it comes to attempting mocks, what are the best practices? So I said that you need to attempt at least 5 exam standard mock exams. So this is what you need to do when attempting these mock exams. First things first, attempt a minimum of 5 mocks. And it's better if you can practice each mock under a simulated exam environment. It's better if you can use a similar online platform. So we at TCS, we are providing this service. So we had built a platform which is closely related to the VUE, the Pearson VUE system used at the real exam. So you can attempt all 5 mocks via this online platform, and it's better to allocate 3 hours of your time and attempt each mock at a stretch. Then you'd know whether you are in a position to manage your timing appropriately, and whether you can invest enough time to develop answer plans, and whether you need to improve your typing speed and whatnot. You can figure out only by doing fully fledged mock exams, allocating 3 hours of your time. And it's better to seek personalized feedback, especially if you're coming through the FLP route. You need all the help to pass the exam. You might be doing the first CIMA case study, or the first CIMA examination for that matter. So it's better to seek guidance from someone who knows about the exam inside out. Then practice builds thinking, speed, and confidence. So according to the study plan, on a weekly basis, you are supposed to attempt our mock exams. And after attempting mock exams, if you feel that the quality is not up to standard, the quality of your answers are not up to standard, then you have enough time to repeat the mock exam. Or when it comes to developing answer plans, you can, your real answer plan, which you did in the first instance, might be worlds apart to the suggested answer. So you can, practice developing answer plans. You can time yourselves and practice developing answer plans. So it's better to practice before the exam rather than, being not too confident at your real exam. So for instance, when attempting the mock exams, let's assume you leave out Monday, okay, because Mondays are too hectic usually. So you leave out Monday, you don't, do any studies on Monday. Tuesday, let's assume you are supposed to do mock number 3. So you are attempting mock number 3 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you are developing the answer plan based on mock number 3. And by Thursday, you would receive personalized feedback, because at TCS, we provide feedback within 48 hours. Okay. So you attempt the mock on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you develop the answer plan based on the suggested answer. And by Thursday, you would receive feedback. Let's assume you got something like 50 marks. So that's a low mark. You are supposed to get 80 marks to pass. So you have enough time to prepare yourself. You have enough time, because this process ends by Thursday. So you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to maybe re-attempt the mock, redevelop answer plans, or if the typing speed is bad, you can focus on improving your typing speed. You can do hordes of work during the weekend. So that's the type of activities. These are the type of activities you need to do to improve your answers. And you are not supposed to reproduce suggested answers in the exam, because as I told you earlier, the CIMA examiner is trying to replicate a real life work environment, and you cannot predict the type of questions which would arise in a real life corporate environment. So there's absolutely no point of reproducing suggested answers. Suggested answers should be considered as a guide to your real exam. Okay. All right. And let me talk about what we offer. We offer 2 main packages, the essential pack and the value pack. The essential pack consists of full pre-scene analysis videos. I spoke about 4 videos, so you have access to these videos. You'd have access to the annotated pre-scene, industry analysis slides, financial analysis slides, the top 20 likely issues slides, the SCS familiarization kit, and most importantly, you'd have access to 5 exam standard mock exams with suggested answers. You would also have access to the WhatsApp discussion forum. I hope you guys are already part of it. If not, I invite you guys to join the SCS WhatsApp discussion forum. So, within the WhatsApp discussion forum, we'll be discussing about SCS related questions. I'll be more than happy to provide answers. I'm part of the group, and on top of that, we will be discussing about E3, P3, and F3 related study areas. And when attempting the exams in August, if you have any question, you can raise these concerns on the WhatsApp group, and myself and the 2 other tutors will be more than happy to help you guys out. And the essential pack comes with a pass guarantee. So our pass rate for SCS is 100%. Let's assume you end up failing the exam. Still, you would have access to the content for the subsequent sitting free of charge. So that's the pass guarantee which we are providing. We are yet to see a failure. So hope you guys won't fail after investing on our services. So the investment is going to be £99. And the value pack consists of all the material which I spoke about under the essential pack. On top of that, you would have access to the online mock exam platform. I highlighted this point earlier as well. We have our own online mock exam platform, which is akin to the Pearson VUE system. So it's better to get yourself accustomed to a similar online mock exam platform. Then you would find it easier to tackle the technicalities at the real exam. And we are providing professional marking and feedback on 3 mocks under the value pack. So namely, mock number 3, 4, and 5 will be evaluated if you choose the value pack. And you would have access to theory recap slides for E3, F3, and P3 Our theory recap slides are concise and easy to understand, and these slides are downloadable. So you need not go through pages and pages of theoretical content. Instead, after going through our theory recap slides, you'd have you'd gain all the knowledge you need to pass your SCS exam comfortably, and the investment is going to be £199. So you might be wondering whether to invest on the essential pack or the value pack. So if you are coming through the CIMA general route, if you had aced your OTQ exams, and if you are really comfortable with self-studies, then I would suggest that you go for the essential pack, because if you are really okay with self-studies, and if you know the syllabus content pertaining to E3, P3 and F3, you can work on your own. So this is the pack which you need to invest on. And if you are coming through the FLP route, as I highlighted on multiple occasions within this session, you might not possess enough understanding about E3, F3 and P3 related content, and without this knowledge, you can't pass the SCS exam. So if you're coming through the exemption route or the FLP route, if you're returning to CIMA studies after a prolonged study break, or if you were struggling with the OTQ examinations, and if you had failed the SCS exam previously, then it's prudent to go for the value pack, because via the value pack you can practice your mocks on the online mock exam platform, and most importantly, you can get personalized feedback from myself. Okay, so let me show you the type of personalized feedback which we provide. So as you can see, for each and every paragraph, I've provided a feedback. I've kept it concise as much as possible, so that students are able to figure out what's wrong and what's right in their answers. And as you can see, the student had written just one sentence, but my evaluation runs two paragraphs. So likewise, I've provided in-depth notations or suggestions to improve your answers. And at the very end, I'll be providing a mark breakdown, which will benefit you immensely, because then you'd understand specifically which subtasks or which areas you need to improve before facing your real exam. And at the end, with the mark breakdowns, I'll be providing general comments as well, highlighting about the general nitty-gritties you need to get right when preparing for the exam. Okay, so that's what we offer under the value pack. And as a thank you gift, we are offering a 10% discount on both SCS packages, and you can purchase our products via the website. You can use this discount code, which is SCS10, and please be mindful that this discount code expires on Wednesday, the 6th of July 2022. If you are yet to invest on study material, I urge you to do it as soon as possible, because as per the study plan, you have just 8 weeks and you need to start work from the next week onwards. So it's better to invest right now rather than waiting until the end, and you can benefit from this discount which we're offering as well. And let me take you to the third part of today's session, which is the Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can raise them now. So let me take you through the website. So I said
just one last more question. Please don't get tired of me.
No, that's fine.
Are you able to give us just that study plan, like the whole document, just the study plan document? I would love to put the study plan in my bedroom so that I'm looking at it. I don't know if you can help us with a PDF of just the study plan.
Yes, we will be providing. So Alex, are you part of our WhatsApp group?
Yes, I'm part of the WhatsApp group. Please.
Great. So I'll be sharing the PDF version right after this session. And on top of that, you would receive the study plan via email as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. All right, if you have any questions, any more questions, you can raise them now. So let me take you through the website. You are simply supposed to click here to access free content. The recorded versions of these webinars will be uploaded to our website via the free content, under the free content to be precise. And on top of that, you would have access to one of the pre-scene analysis videos and a mini mock and the suggested answer. And I'll be using this mini mock and the suggested answer when conducting the second webinar, which is happening in another 2 weeks time. And as I told you earlier, our pass rate is 100% for SCS, and you can purchase the essential pack in here, and you can purchase the value pack as well. And I urge you to go through the FAQ section to figure out the type of content which we are providing, because we have provided all the samples of different types of material which we are providing. So, please feel free to go through them before you make a purchase. So yeah, I urge you to go through the free content. Simply click here to access the free content. So having said that, it seems like there aren't any more questions. So let me wind up today's session. You can contact us via our website, or you can simply drop us an email or drop a message on our WhatsApp. And you can follow us on our social media handles, especially there's a group, a study group for SCS, the August sessions happening. The sessions happening in August. So you can check out our Facebook, the Facebook groups, and check out our YouTube channel as well, because these recorded versions are uploaded onto YouTube. And read through the blog posts via our website, because then you'd understand all the technical nitty-gritties about SCS and how you can pass the examination. We have highlighted what students get wrong most of the time, and by reading these blog posts, you can avoid these problems, avoid these deflections, and ace your SCS exam comfortably. So concluding thoughts: approach SCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. So having said that, thank you very much, guys, for joining in. I value your presence, and I hope that you'd stick to our 8-week study plan. And if you have any questions relating to the case study or theoretical content, you can reach us via the WhatsApp group or the email or the website. So I hope to see you guys in another 2 weeks time, where I'll be highlighting the answering technique. It's an extremely important webinar, so I hope you'd attend it. So thank you very much for joining in. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Good night and all the best.